So I did have a different video planned for today, but the small thing of Chelsea winning the Champions League final on Saturday kind of meant I wanted to do this video. It's an opportunity for me to express how I feel, though quite obviously it's going to be very positive. Now before I jump into that, I just want to address the elephant in the room, and for those of you who have good eyes, or if the camera picks it up, I'm quite sunburned, and that's because on Sunday, so the following day, I spent the day at Sywell Aerodome at Supercar Fest 2021. So I spent most of my day doing this. It was an amazing day. I love supercars, and for those of you who have a similar interest, what I've done is I've collected all the video footage and I've put it into just a giant montage, and I've uploaded it to my channel. However, the link is unlisted, which means that unless you have the direct URL, you won't be able to see it. So I've attached it to the description of this video, and for those of you who are interested in supercars and stuff like that, then after you've watched this video, go to the link in the description and you can watch it that way. Some beautiful cars, beautiful weather, but I am severely feeling the effects of it right now, which is kind of why I'm wearing a hat indoors. It's kind of burny. Anyway, to the main event, and that of course was Saturday evening, the Champions League final, Chelsea versus Man City. And it was really comfortable as any Champions League final you can imagine, really. You know, as the morning and through the afternoon to the evening, the nerves was increasing. But to be honest, I felt like with it being Man City, I felt a little bit more confident than it would have been, say, Bayern Munich, PSG, even Barcelona. We've kind of had the best of Man City recently. We beat them in league, we beat them in the FA Cup. So I felt like, you know, we had a little bit of an idea how to deal with them. And I would speak with people and I'd ask them, who do you have as favourites? And of course, Man City were favourites, and I can understand why that was the case. But for me, I just felt like they just weren't all that much of a threat compared to some other teams. And that turned out to be the case. Even looking at the pre-match interviews with Pep and Tuchel, the Pep one was weird. He was a bit uptight. He was sort of answering the questions a bit weirdly. Whereas Tuchel, he was a bit more relaxed, casual. He was there last season. He's just a little bit more happy. And just, I felt like at that point, we were in a good place. And then you throw into the fact with Pep's sort of formation and player selection was a bit weird. It all seemed to just fall quite nicely into the hands of Chelsea. And then the game happened and they didn't really do very much. Was it one shot on target? I mean, considering for Man City, the Champions League is quite obviously their biggest sort of goal, they really didn't seem like they wanted it all that much compared to Chelsea. I mean, if you look at the Chelsea squad, I mean, certainly the first 11, Mendy didn't really have to do much. One save, and even that, it was just kind of simple. Mendy's story from becoming sort of a relatively effectively unemployed 5-6 years ago to winning the Champions League, amazing. And then you've got the defenders, you've got Azpilicueta, who is just like Chelsea through and through now. He's won everything. He came just after we won the Champions League the first time, and he's seen it all the ups and downs, and there's not one player that I believe that typifies Chelsea more than Dave in the current squad at the very least. Thiago Silva's only been here for one season, but it seems like he's been around forever. Just seeing him interact with the players and the fans and there's the staff members, and when he's not playing, he's in the stands screaming and shouting. He just loves football, and it's just, I really hope to see more of him next season, if and when he does extend for another season. And then Rudiger is one of those players that every team needs. He's an absolute son of a gun. He's so frustrating to play against. He pushes it. He knows where the limit is, and he's constantly perking. He's like, I can push you, I can push you, I can push you. I didn't do anything. Of course, we didn't want to see De Bruyne get injured like he has done. I don't think there was no intention to cause any harm. But that's kind of what Rudiger does. If it was going to be anybody, it was going to be him. Then the fullbacks, Reece James. Well, revelation. I mean, when he was at Wigan and everyone was bigging him up, it was like, okay, yes, fine, it's Wigan. He looks like a talent, but can you do it at Chelsea? And yes, he can. He's got such a great ability of being able to read the game. Like with a defender, sometimes, like maybe Marcus Alonso, if he's tracking back and you think, oh, he's going to try and do something here, and he'll just mistime a tackle or he'll just totally misread the play. Reece James, every single time he goes in for the tackle, he's just perfect. Throw into the fact that he's got such amazing physical attributes, he is going to be an absolute wonder going forwards. And on the other side, we have Chile. Chile came into the club obviously as a new transfer, and he's kind of hit the ground running. He's almost like a super upgrade to Marcus Alonso. Alonso is remarkable going forwards, especially for a fullback. Defensively, he is a bit of a liability, whereas Chile, he kind of does both of those things really well. He's really good defensively, as shown by the final, but he can contribute to just as many goals and assists as Alonso. Midfield, Kante. What else do you want me to say? Kante is just Kante. Jorginho, one of the most underrated players, not just by football fans, but I think Chelsea fans also. He came when he came with Sarri, and he was just a revelation with regards to seeing him spraying the ball around and just getting like more pass total than teams were playing against. And eventually teams figured out how to stop him, and if you nullify him, you can nullify Sarri, and that's kind of where it went off a little bit, the rails. And he's been up and down with certain managers, and he's been linked away. And I remember Arsenal fans saying, oh, we don't want him. It's like, come on. You would be so lucky to have a player like Jorginho right now. And the fact that he was able to play a Champions League final and just sort of control the game like he did, that just shows his talents. You know, he can get beaten physically, which is kind of weird why Pep didn't go for like a Fernandinho, because that would have been probably a better way. But technically, he can hold his own against anybody, really. He's just such a cool, calm player. And in the front three, we have Mason Mount, Mr. Chelsea, the future. He's just everything. He's my favourite Chelsea player right now. Not only is he a world-class player, but he's just a great person. And I really look forward to seeing what he can turn into in the next 2-3 years as he gets a little bit more experience. I think he's going to be the focal point for Chelsea for sure. Timo, what are you doing? He's one of those players that you just can't hate. I mean, we've had plenty of strikers over the years who have kind of struggled and faltered, and they do get very frustrating, primarily Morata. But you could tell with him, it's just his body language, he was so just sort of morose and like, and every time he'd miss, he'd be just like this. Whereas Timo, you can see that he really wants it, and he's trying, and his work ethic, and he doesn't stop running, and his positioning is great. So it will come good. Whether or not he gets a chance to, I don't know, because there's a possibility we'll be bringing in another striker in the summer. So I guess we'll see what happens. And then, of course, last but not least, the game winner, King Kai, Havertz. He is similar to Werner. He struggled a bit at the beginning. I think the new surroundings, new team, high price tag, did get the COVID, of course, new management, and then, of course, a new manager following Lampard leaving. I think Tuchel arriving was really good for him. With them both being German, I'm pretty certain that connection is very important, and slowly but surely he's starting to show his worth. He's did it in glimpses, and now it's more like extended periods of play, and I really look forward to seeing what he can produce next season. I mean, the confidence he must have. I mean, scoring the winning goal in the Champions League final, there's not many better places to get confidence than that. So next season's going to be really exciting. And that's kind of where I'm at as a fan. At the moment, we are the kings of Europe, but I think we really need to push in the Premier League next season, push Man City, push Manchester United, push Liverpool, and whoever else may be up there. I just hope it doesn't end like it has ended so often, and that in 18 months, Tuchel's gone. We haven't won anything since. So I'm kind of fingers crossed, hoping for the best. But I'm not going to be super surprised if it just all falls apart, because that's just the nature of Chelsea. But that's it, I suppose. If for me, the 2012 final is always going to be like the best. It's the main. It's your first. It's always the one you remember. But for those Chelsea fans who have just watched their first ever Champions League final on Saturday, trust me, you'll never forget it. It's such an amazing feeling, and it's one that always will live with you. I've been lucky enough to see all three finals, and to be honest, when I saw the one and we lost, I was just glad to get there. I'm not one of these fans who's like really greedy and sort of entitled and feel like we should be doing it every season. I understand that it's a roller coaster and it goes up and down. So I stick through the club through all the thick and the thin, which, to be honest, this season has seen that. You throw in the Super League controversy, and for a period of time, a lot of fans were thinking, well, I don't know what to think about this. Where's my club going? What's happened? And of course, we still feel the effects of it. It's just because we came out of it doesn't mean we can forgive and forget as easily as that. There's a lot of sort of effort that needs to be put in from the club. Winning the Champions League does help, but the lessons must be learned. Anyway, the season is kind of over now. And what I did say is I wanted to get, if we did win, the goal scorer on the back of the home shirt, because I still don't have the home shirt from the 2021 season. And I would love to have done that, but it seems like there's no mediums left in the UK, like anywhere. I can't find it. I went through all the major retailers. I even looked across retailers in Europe. I can't find any. I was even looking at the vapor options. I don't care. None. So this is where I need your help. If you know anywhere that is selling Chelsea home shirts from 20 to 21, let me know. And it has to be medium, and of course it has to be authentic. Now, if you know somebody who is selling them individually, or maybe you have one yourself, hit me up. You know where I am. You can message me on YouTube. You can message me on Instagram. You can Twitter me, even though I don't really go on there. I have my email address on the website. Just let me know, because I really want the shirt. And it doesn't even necessarily have to have Havertz on the back, though that is a bonus. I can just get it for the following season. Eventually I will find the shirt, but I kind of want it now just because, it's kind of an important and special piece. But that's it. I did film the video that was meant to be coming out today, and it should be released on Friday. I filmed it on the morning of the Champions League, so I was kind of like, I hope we win the Champions League. Well, we did, so that's always a nice feeling. And that video is regarding manufacturers and my favourite manufacturers. So that's kind of a nice little one for you guys to watch. Hopefully I'm able to buy some football shirts very soon, and then we can open some more packages and extend my collection. I'm still loving this unit. I've set up a little bit differently, so I've got the Chelsea shirts out now, just because obviously they're the team I support, so they need a rail themselves. And that's kind of it. If you've got any questions, of course, you know where to put them. And to all my fellow Chelsea fans, we are the kings of Europe, at least for another year. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.